Hello everyone, welcome back to Real Reds Talk. It's less than a week's time until the Premier League is back and Christmas is upon us. A fun time to be alive right about now. We've got a lot of things to discuss regarding Manchester United, a few Christmas presents to unwrap and transfer news to dive into. So before we do that, I need to introduce our Christmas crackers we've got on the show today. Dan and Sam are joining me. How are we doing, lads?
Yeah,
I'm off work.
Great.
It's great. No more work till January. Hooray.
Yeah. What about yourself, Dan?
Next, I'll be working on next year. I'm not working this year now.
Okay. So you're off now until New Year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any plans over the weekend, Dan?
Yeah. I'm traveling out of the town. Maybe for rest of the week. 1 week right. I'll be on full travel. So.
Yeah. And I would ask you, Sam, what you're doing, but I think we know because obviously we're having Christmas tomorrow, aren't we? So.
I'm also there at your house on Christmas Day as well. So.
Yeah. So we'll move past that swiftly.
Also,
don't forget, guys.
Cheers, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Oh, I haven't got a whiskey, but
no. Cheers,
I guess I'll have some raki out the thing.
You don't drink, do you, Dan?
No.
So whatever Dan's drinking. Cheers to that as well.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, everyone. Don't forget, guys, you can subscribe.
That's a nice one as well.
I know. It hits. Don't forget, you can subscribe to our wonderful channel just by a simple click of the button in the bottom right-hand side of your corner. That fucking rack is hitting me already. Smash a like on the video as well to let us know you enjoy the content. And look, drop us a DM if you've got some ideas or a topic of discussion you want us to speak about on the show. Let us know. Drop us a DM. Sam's always active on the Instagram, so be sure to drop us a message. We're going to chat about Gakpo, the press conference with HAG. We're also going to touch on the League Cup draw, which was obviously last night. And then a special bonus asking the lads what they want for Christmas under the new ownership tree. So let's start off with the HAG press conference. I've got a few quotes and then I'm just going to bounce off your reaction, lads. He got asked about the pressure of being Manchester United manager with the added funds that have been spent in the summer. Just on that, Sam, given the money that's been spent, obviously we're talking, 210 million, something like that?
Yeah.
Should he be under pressure for top four, maybe a trophy?
In sort of normal circumstances, if you think about like teams spending money, etc., then yeah, it would be. But this team's been criminally underfunded the last couple of years. The wrong players have been bought for the team. We've bought players to sell shirts. We've bought players that are over past their prime. We've bought players that didn't want to be here. Bought players that didn't fit the system, etc. It goes on and on and on. So this investment that he's received is bare minimum, is what he needed to get this team to where it is. And we still need absolute more investment. So I don't think he's under pressure whatsoever because the abysmal season we had before and the preceding years didn't have much fruit either. Like what we've won 2 trophies in the last 10 years. Is that how many? 2 trophies?
Well, yeah. Last 10 years, did you say?
Yeah, FA Cup and Europa League. That's it, isn't it?
Well, we won the League Cup with Mourinho, I think it was.
Oh, did we win the League Cup? Okay,
yeah,
3 trophies.
Three
trophies in 10 years. And that's just not good enough when you're Man United. So I think that was the bare minimum that he needed this summer because they weren't going to spend that much initially, were they? They were like Frankie de Jong, Timber was the original one, I think, wasn't it? And then I think was there a couple of other guys floating about, but no.
Nunez,
really
Nunez,
yeah.
Remember?
And then we ended up spending on Casemiro because de Jong went out of the thing, and we probably overspent for Casemiro if we're honest. Great player, but 30 years old, 70-odd million, probably overspent. Lisandro Martinez wasn't the first choice. We went for Timber, and ended up getting Lisandro Martinez again, overpaying for him because we got him late in the window.
Yeah.
Christian Eriksen, great bit of business on a free, fantastic player, and it's worked out perfectly. So that's the best bit of business there. And then Terrell last year, we sort of snatched, didn't we, for him under Leon's eyes and took him. And then and out of nowhere, Anthony, and we paid triple probably what he's worth or what we should have paid for him if it would have came early in the window. So
85 million is fucking far too much. Isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I think had we bought them at the beginning of summer, had a structure, had a plan, and gone, these are the players we've identified and bought them again in the window, we probably could have spent 120, 150 million at the most. but instead we ended up spending what we did because we cocked it all up in the window. So I think it's bare minimum. So I don't think Ten Hag's under pressure. I think Richard Arnold and John Murtaugh are under pressure, but who knows if they're still going to be here come end of the season. So who knows?
Exactly. We're going to be discussing that again a little bit later on. Dan, what about yourself? Because obviously at the start, when Ten Hag first came in, there wasn't mega pressure from the fans, given, like Sam touched on there, that how shit we was last season. The bar was kind of low, so anything Ten Hag really did would be over that in a sense. But what about for yourself personally? What was your expectations with Ten Hag coming in?
Yeah, as you clearly mentioned that we were at the bottom low of our the journey, and whatever Ten Hag will do will definitely add up to his account. But my expectations are not very high. But the very first thing I wanted was to see good football, not depending on the moments football which we were doing for the past 2-3 years. We were just depending on the moments, and now I want us to play as a more dominating football. That doesn't mean that I want us to win every games, but I want to see the dominating football. At least give up a fight for in every game, whether you lose or draw the match. And the second thing I want the least for this, not least, I may be downgrading my opinion, but I need I need to see Champions League football again in Manchester United to be in the Champions League football. So these were the two main things which I want to see. And on the as a bonus, maybe one cup, small cup, EFL, FA Cup, or I think Carabao Cup looks more realistic than
Dan's getting his Christmas wish in early, isn't he? He's getting it in now.
I know. Yeah, we're definitely going to discuss the Carabao Cup because it was a very interesting draw. I do want to move through a few more of these quotes with Ten Hag. He got asked about player availability, Sam. He said Sancho still won't be available for the Forest game. Lisandro and Varane need to be assessed, but reminded them that the Prem starts again on the 27th. Are the two players of that calibre? Look, I don't know your thoughts on top four because I know it's a long season, etc. But are them two players the calibre, the difference to make that top four? If we do you think just having them two out, because they are a big miss, aren't they?
Yeah, they're our rock at the back, aren't they? Like we all know how we feel about Maguire playing for Manchester United. Obviously, he had a good tournament with England. I think he was one of England's better players in the tournament. But for Manchester United, he's been absolutely abysmal. And if we have to go back to, and we've seen what happens when Lindelof and Maguire play together, doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And then it equally then affects Luke Shaw as well. He's also becomes a terrible player for some reason. So it just, we can't, if we want any chance of getting a top four, we need Lisandro and we need Varane back. Have we found Lisandro? Is he still missing in Buenos Aires?
Is he somewhere in Buenos Aires? Yeah, celebrating.
Somewhere.
But you can't blame him, can you?
No, definitely not. So yeah, hopefully we find him and he comes back eventually, because we definitely need him. And yeah, I know Ten Hag brought in some psychology mind coaches to help players get over the tournament, and someone like Varane definitely will benefit from that sort of thing, because to lose the final the way French did in that manner must have been absolute gutting. And I can imagine it takes a while to get over and might affect your performance. But it was nice to see in the World Cup. I put the photo up on our Instagram. Lisandro going up to Varane as soon as the match finished, went over to him to commiserate him. So it just shows you how they're bonded together already, which is fantastic.
In fairness, Varane's already kind of won one, and it's
they both got one now. Yeah,
both got one, exactly. Yeah. And that leads me on to my next point. We have a World Cup winning centre-back partnership, Dan, but as we know, the issue is with Rafa Varane, he picks up these little niggly injuries every couple of weeks. We know knee injuries, ankle, etc., and we can never get that full kind of consistency out of him. Is that a position maybe you would look at in the summer? Obviously, January is difficult to do business. We're looking at Gakpo, which again we're going to touch on next. But yeah, just in the summer, is that maybe a position you'd look at because of the injury issues?
Yes and no. Yes, because I don't trust Maguire still, even though he has played very good football in international. And no, because we have seen Maguire can play that role very well. And maybe Bai has went for a loan or a permanent.
Yeah, Marseille. Loan.
So he'll be also coming back. So I would rather find a way to sell these backup center backs, maybe two, couple of them, and buy a very good one who can straight away start the game. So yeah, but Varane, coming back to Varane, he has been always a injury threat for us, especially for United, because when he was in Real Madrid, I have hardly seen him injured. But when he
Yeah.
comes to Manchester United, it's totally different. But can be a can be a point of discussion where we can see that Premier League is more physical compared to La Liga, and that's where his injury he has become injury prone coming to Premier League. But yeah, I would still look for a center back until we get some more players on the outfield rather than the defense, because we needed players like strikers or good midfielders. So I would rather spend on them first, then come back to center back. But also, I don't want to end up again having so many center backs and then we end up choosing the right pair. And so at least I want four center backs and choose two on in those four pairing, rather than having 7 8 center backs and you are confused with choosing the two pairing. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
hope
interesting.
hope,
Sorry, go on.
hope Maguire can continue his form from the World Cup to this Premier League.
It's interesting because I think one thing that the World Cup has done is highlighted the squad depth of all the teams in the Premier League, like who we've got in rotation. Some of them playing in a friendly, some of them playing in the Carabao Cup who, didn't exactly light it up. There's going to be rustiness there. And again, I think something Marcus Rashford said was very interesting about it's not necessarily fitness because they've been playing, but it's getting over the loss of getting put out in the quarterfinal or the semi-final and dealing with that psychologically. And Ten Hag actually got asked about the sports psychologist who's been doing work there. And he said he's there all the time and he works with the staff under my direction. It's his job. One of his tasks to get the players' minds right and the team. How important is it, Sam, when you look at someone like Marcus Rashford or Jadon Sancho, we know they have all the ability in the world, to make sure that they are mentally focused going into this next kind of busy period, especially January. We've got like games every 3-4 days, something like that.
Yeah, no, it's mega important. Like, we know several players at United are confidence players. Anthony Martial's one of them. Rashford's one of them. It seems like Sancho's one of them. I think you could probably put Maguire in there as well. He seems to be like a confidence player. So I think, yeah, it's really important to get your head right. And it just makes you question at Man United. It's like, why weren't we doing this already? We're the biggest club in the world. And why have we not been doing this? I'm sure Liverpool do this. I'm damn sure City do it. Like, why are we not doing this? It's absolutely baffling that it's taken Ten Hag to come in for us to start doing this. It's absolutely ridiculous. On Marcus Rashford, though, it seems to be working because did you see? I wasn't on the review yesterday, but I was at the game on Wednesday. Did you see that goal from Marcus Rashford? My word.
Electric one,
that
Mbappe fashion.
I was like, literally watch it. I was like, because I was next to Stratford End, so I just saw him pick the ball up and run, and he just kept going and kept going and kept going. Done about 3 defenders in one go, and then bottom cornered it. It's exactly like the I don't know if any of you watched the Darwin Núñez opportunity last night. It's the exact same opportunity.
Which one?
Well, he had the exact same opportunity. He ran onto the ball, ran through a bunch of players, got to it, and just put it wide. Yeah. It's the exact same opportunity, and that's the difference when you've got confidence in your brain and you feel confident about your abilities. You put those in the back of the net. Darwin Núñez not putting him in the back of the net. He missed 3-4 opportunities because obviously his confidence is suffering. He went to Uruguay at the World Cup, didn't really play, didn't really do well, and he crashed out. And Marcus Rashford's the opposite. He played really well for England, didn't get enough time, and he's come back to Manchester United and he's absolutely flying. So it's mega important.
Do you remember Rio's reaction? You remember Ronaldo scored against Atlanta in the last minute, that volley outside the box?
Yeah.
Do you remember his reaction to that? He was like, "This is what he does. This is what he." When Rashford scored that goal, that's what I was like.
I lost my shit. Like I sent you the video because I was so into him the run, I forgot to record. And so the last part, so I got the record up as he put the ball in the back of the net, and I was just like, I lost my shit. And Stretford then went absolute crazy, absolute phenomenal goal.
It's true though, isn't it, Dan? Confidence is such a big thing in football for these players. But the amount of players that we have, like Sam just mentioned there, Sancho, Maguire, Rashford, some of these players, when they're low on confidence, are just performing at a really, really low level, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Confidence has a big part to play in whatever they do on the field. And we have seen that with Rashford. and now this could be the same case with even Sancho as well. But we have seen that when Rashford was being dealt with he was given a psychologist, I mean a separate psychologist to deal Rashford and bring the confidence in him. And the same guy is working with Sancho, so I think Sancho can be good back in his form again. But the thing is, confidence is something they can build a few amount of confidence in a player, but when the player has his moments in the pitch on the pitch, maybe a goal or assist, that builds on that small confidence, and that's what was needed in our place as well, especially Rashford. When you see that in World Cup, when he scored the goals and his confidence started building up in the next games, and this is where, and especially for the attackers, is a big advantage. It's just one goal or a assist is all needed to build their confidence on, and one game can change everything in their this whenever they are dealing with the low confidence level. So I think yeah, confidence has a very big part to play. But also at this moment, I would like to mention the players like Martinez, Varane, and
Yeah.
Dalot. These players actually helps other players to build their confidence, and whenever you see that fighting spirit in them, other players get charged up, and that automatically converts into in increasing in the confidence level. So yeah, that's the overall thing in building the confidence level, when each and every player is seeing each and other players, and like building their own confidence with the help of other players' confidence. So that's
That
in it. Yeah.
that is so true, Dan, because I remember under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when Bruno would be chasing for a ball everywhere, he'd be screaming at everyone. And if you then look to your right and you see Fred, who's basically chasing after his own tail like a cat who keeps losing the ball, you're just like, what is the fucking point? But now you've got Casemiro in there. You don't have to do as much work, or you don't have to worry as much, because you've got a world-class defensive midfielder behind you. You've got Lisandro who can distribute from the back. So the full thing is, it's like everyone's on the same hymn sheet, then everyone's playing through the same kind of chords, and it's nice to see.
It actually, that confidence level flows from the back. Like if you see De
Yeah.
Gea, he will be thinking like Martinez and Varane is standing ahead of me,
Not
so
Maguire.
he automatically feels that confidence. And then when Martinez and Varane are standing, they see Casemiro standing ahead of him, ahead of them. So and then when Casemiro is there, Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes, they'll be feeling that yes, Casemiro is behind, we can take our chances, and that's how it flows from the back. So
And the attackers as well. The attackers have got Eriksen there now and Bruno,
yeah.
two creative sources who they can rely on. You can kind of, sit in the pockets.
Yeah, and when you made this point, I also that just stuck in my mind that whenever before Eriksen came into the team, we had players who were the attackers. They were hesitating to make the runs, but now
Yeah.
you see each and every player, whether it could be wingers or a striker, they are just running. No matter whether the cross is coming in or not, but they are making continuous runs. So that's a result of the confidence level.
Yeah.
Also,
And
Casemiro can play centre back. Who knew?
Yeah, he was fucking
He
phenomenal,
was
by
great.
the way. At centre-back.
Fantastic.
His first time passing, honestly, I could not rave about it. Like, I was just watching it. I'm surprised no one's made a montage yet, because
Yeah.
it was unreal. He's just crisp, first time, left foot, right foot. Like, he was like a quarterback. He was literally playing like Tom Brady.
Should have got man in the match. I was like, when I was like walking out the ground, I was like,
Didn't get that.
Casemiro.
I didn't understand it. It was, again, it's the shiny goals, because
Yeah.
Rashford scored such a. But in the first half, he really did nothing. Sticking with confident players, Sam, Mr. Cody Gakpo. Ten Hag got asked about the heavily linked Mr. Gakpo and his performance at the World Cup. He wouldn't kind of get drawn into it. He said, many players had a good World Cup, etc., etc. How much do you make of it when a player like Gakpo has such a good tournament, Sam? Do you get hyped like everybody else, or are you a bit more measured? Because obviously it's different to the Premier League, isn't it, the competition?
Yeah, I would never buy a player off the back of a tournament, because it never ends well. But we've been looking at Gakpo before the World Cup, and he's been playing extremely well before the World Cup. What was his stat? Was it like 14 goal involvements in like 16 games or something like that? Like, utter insane. So he was already playing well. He could play across the front line. He could play on a wing. He played number 9. I think he played number 10 as well, didn't he, for Holland, Netherlands? Yeah. So the kid's super talented. He's basically come out and said several times, without actually saying it, that he wants to come to Man United. Like, he wants to be there.
You couldn't be hinting more, could you, if he was Gakpo?
PSV, we found out, have financial issues at the minute, so they definitely want to cash in on him sooner rather than later, because I imagine his price is at the highest it's ever going to be right now. So if he had like a less stellar second half of the season going into the summer, he might not get as much after a tournament and then the first half of the season that he's done. So yeah, I think he's a great pickup if we end up signing somebody. And I think Ten Hag wants him. The player wants to be here. He fits the profile that Ten Hag likes. Dutch, young, players across the front line, could score goals, fits into a system and stuff like that. So I think he ticks every box. And yeah, we need reinforcements, especially in striker position, because I thought Anthony Martial was fine against
He was very quiet
against Burnley. He had like 1-2 opportunities, but he wasn't phenomenal by any stretch of the imagination. So imagine you've got Gakpo on the bench, and you can chuck him on. It changes the game, completely. Luckily, Rashford was absolutely swimming. Like, he just managed to sort of pull something out of the bag in the second half, which sort of put the game away for us. But yeah, Gakpo, I'd be very happy to see him in United colours, and if it's going to happen, it's probably going to be January. So.
Yeah, there's more and more news coming out on this, Dan. And Alex Crook from TalkSport, like, gets some things right, gets some things wrong. But he was on United Stand today, and he was saying United are very keen to get Cody Gakpo deal done. I was told yesterday, meaning Tuesday, that unless something drastic happens, this could well be signed and sealed very soon. PSV want 50 to 60 million, but they want kind of quick cash in a sense rather than installments, because they've got, like Sam said, there's a financial issue. How realistic do you think this deal is, with it being in January, with the owners selling? Will this have any effects on the situation, do you think?
Yeah, I think it will have a big impact on this deal. Could be because if the owners are planning to sell the club, then they'll definitely will be unwilling to spend any amount on this club anymore, especially on the transfer business, and that too, it's a 50 million. We are talking about 50 million, which is a huge amount in terms of for an owner who is leaving the club, and so I don't think he will be, unless or until anything else comes in, and maybe it is sold before or something, some type of agreements between the seller or the buyer or with the club, if anything is there where they can take the money and use that for this transfer window in January. That could be a very different, or could be like a miracle or a Christmas gift. But at this point, I feel it's not that much realistic. But talking about Gakpo, as also Sam also mentioned, that we are not seeing Gakpo only in the World Cup, but we are seeing him from before the World Cup. And I wanted this player before I've seen him playing in the World Cup, and that's where even in our group chat also, we were discussing that every goal he scores, I was very sad, because that every goal he scores, his price will go up and it will increase his overall price. But at this moment, he could be the very ideal player for us at this moment, because we need a player like him. But on the personal note, I don't think it will happen with all the drama going on with the owners.
Let's just do a quick hypothetical just before we touch on the League Cup draw and the Carabao Cup. Sorry, where would he fit in that lineup for you? Like, so let's say we sign him in January. Where would you put him across that front line, and who would you play alongside him?
I will straight go for a striker.
Striker. So you'd have what? Rashford, Gakpo, Antony.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam, what about yourself?
With Rashford and Gakpo mixing up with their positions in the game.
Okay.
I think on current form, you'd keep Rashford on the left, and then Antony goes on the right, and then Gakpo goes through the middle, because Martial's not quite firing as of yet. I think he still needs a bit of time. Antony's looked really, really good. And obviously Sancho is rehabilitating and doing the work at the minute, so he's not going to feature anytime soon. And who's the other options? Ilanga? Do you know what I mean?
I agree that Gakpo is not an all-out striker, but if we can use him as what he was used in his international team in World Cup, then definitely it can work for us. Yeah.
But him and Rashford can swap round, can't they? They can interchange and stuff like that. So
then it'd be comfortable across the front line then, which
Yeah.
would be nice
Yeah.
to see. You'd have that interchanging up top.
Just imagine, just imagine the runs, Rashford from this side, Anthony, and
Oh.
from the center, Gakpo.
Yeah, nightmare to deal with for any defender. But like I said, I suppose it's a nice headache for Ten Hag to have when he does get Sancho back. If we do get Gakpo in January, you want that mix up, and then world-class players in each position. Speaking about headaches, we had a bit of a headache last night when the draw was being made, when it eventually got done. I mean, it took about half an hour for him to actually do it. It was just analysing
talking
Yeah.
bollocks. Talking
Do
bollocks.
my head in. It was supposed to be at half past, but I think it was done at like 10 to or something because he was just talking utter dribble. Anyway, it got done. We was all expecting a Man City or a Newcastle away or something like that, but we got Charlton.
At home.
It was Charlton, wasn't it?
Yeah, Charlton at home.
Charlton at home. And everyone was like, whoa, we've actually got quite an easy draw for the first time. What's going on? They must have got us mixed up with Man City's name or something because they're the ones who usually get a decent draw. They obviously got Southampton away, but bit of a rhetorical question, Sam. Are you happy with that draw?
Yeah, absolute result, isn't it? It's a club that's in flux at the minute. They've just bought a brand new manager in. And is it Dean Holden, I think his name is? The fans want the owners out. I know how they feel. So it's a club that's in a bit of trouble at the minute. So it's probably a good time to play him, if anything. League One club, not doing too well in League One from what I've looked at, and we're in decent form. We've played well in the Carabao Cup for the most part. We absolutely smashed Villa. Took a while to get our legs at Burnley, but eventually very comfortable win. So yeah, like Dan said earlier, this could be a trophy to win. We're in the quarterfinals now. Charlton should be, on paper, you never take any game for granted, obviously, but on paper it should be a winnable game. And then you're in the semi-final, then you're 2 games away from winning the trophy. So why not?
Dan, do you think we have a realistic chance of winning this cup?
Yeah, definitely. We are going to win this one.
We're gonna win. We're gonna win. Do you say?
Yeah.
Mystic Dan's back. Mystic Dan's back.
Well, what if we get Man? Did you watch Man City and Liverpool last night? Did you get a chance to see it? The game?
Yeah, I saw the bits of that.
Yeah.
The last push. Yeah.
Looked very, very good last night. And Liverpool looked good despite the South American Andy Carroll, who's missed more chances than a gullible X. Yeah, he was. He looked good last night. He got into positions, but when it gets to finishing, terrible. Anyway, Man City looks really good. If they stay in the competition, do you still believe, if we play them in the final or semis, do you think we could get a result over them?
Yeah, I felt a bit confident when we are playing against Manchester City because, as the history says, that we are more maybe if you consider last 2 seasons, we are good against the big teams, and we are very random against the mid-level or low-level teams. So against City, I think we can pull it out with a very strong team we are having, with all of our players coming back from the World Cup in very good form. So but City, I'm not scared because anyhow, any moment of this particular trophy, we have to meet City, and if we have to win this trophy, then we have to beat City at any moment. It could be a semi-final or a final.
Yeah, as long as De Bruyne and Haaland get injured, I think we'll be all right. We might be okay.
He looked scary, didn't he? Haaland looked absolutely frightening.
Unless Southampton beats them.
Yeah. Which I'm not going to hold my breath when they're playing him. Just the last question on League Cup, Sam. How important will this be for mentality, this trophy? Because if you think about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the amount of semi-finals
and a final,
and then and final with Villarreal, and we went out and stuff like that. It crushes a player's confidence. You don't get past that kind of hump of you've not won anything, etc. Blah blah blah. I know it's only Ten Hag's first year, but that can transform a team, can't it? Just winning the final, even if it is the Carabao Cup. And
it's an early trophy as well. The final's in February, March, or something like that. So it's an early trophy, and Pep loves winning that trophy. Pep, every year he guns for that trophy because he knows it sets your season up for a really good season. You've won an early trophy, and you can kick on from there, and your confidence flows. He did he win it 3-4 times in a row or something like that? Pep.
It's basically Man City's trophy. If they go out, then.
It could do wonders for us, and if Ten Hag gets a trophy under his belt in his first year, that sets him up. He sets him up for the next summer to be backed, to be given time, to be given resources, etc., and to be given thing because he's won a trophy with he's obviously got backed in the summer, but it was a shit show in the way they did it. But he's been backed and he's proven himself already. We're in a good position in the league. We've won against some big teams in Liverpool and Arsenal. We've won tough games in the cup and stuff like that. So I think it could set us up for the great end to the season, like the last half of the season. And I'll take a trophy under Ten Hag. Like, I'll be celebrating it like a league win. I don't give a shit. Like, a trophy under Ten Hag. Like, love it. I wanted it under Ollie, but wasn't to be. Yeah.
It's interesting because I was speaking to Adam about this last night, and he was saying there's merit in the Community Shield, and he'd love to win it and stuff like this. And I was I mean, I don't mind whether you want to class that as trophy or not, because obviously Mourinho
did.
Didn't he? And that was actually the last time we won a trophy. It was like 5-6 years ago. So it's getting on now. It's nearly a decade since we won the Premier League. It will be next year by the end of the season. So I think we do need a trophy, even if it's a cup, just to stop rival fans being like, "Oh, you haven't won anything and whatever, blah blah blah." I can't be arsed with that. Just win a nice cup, and we can progress.
Win a cup and finish 4th. That's a good season.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a nice present for Manchester United. And it is Christmas, guys. So, what's on the table, do you think? What would you want? It's the festive season. Santa's driving around in his sleigh. Give me a couple of things you want to see in the new year for Manchester United. New ownership, transfers, anything you want. Could be anything at all.
Glazers to absolutely piss off from Manchester and never, ever fucking return. That'd be fantastic. Yeah. That'd be my number one gift if that can happen.
Number one, top of the list.
Number one list. That if they never darken Old Trafford ever again, that'd be not that they turned up anyway, to be honest with you, but you know what I mean. If they can never come back and we can get owners who give a shit about this club, invest in this club, invest in the stadium, the training ground, players, development, scouting, all that stuff that we've been neglecting for 14, 13 years, however long the parasites have been here. If we can get that, anything else is a bonus, isn't it? Really, that's just. I know it's a big ask. I know it's a big gift, but literally that would I'd be happy for a long time if we get rid of these parasites from our club. And
Santa would be coming with a big bag of Sam's gift.
Yeah, it's a big ask, but that's players come and go. I get excited about transfers, but you know what I mean. Players can stay for a couple of years. I think owners are here for a long time. Clubs stand for a long time. So if the owners can piss off or die, either one, I don't care. I'll take either one.
I think your request is achievable, Sam. I just think Santa's going to need a big bag of fucking cash in order for him to do it. So that's the only thing that's out there.
We'll have a whip round. We'll have a whip round. Yeah. We'll sort it.
Yeah, you might have to do a few whip rounds for the amount of money they're going to have to invest in that, I'm thinking. What about yourself, Dan, for the new year? It's going to be an interesting, obviously, everything going on with the ownerships, transfer window in January. What do you want to see? Might not be realistic. You might want to go get a João Felix, he's Atletico put him on the market saying an 8 mil loan fee for him, apparently. Someone like that, talk to me about it.
Yeah, probably more similar than what Sam has mentioned. Glazer's gone, and the new owners, and they are buying their first player as Gakpo.
Yeah, I like it. Is that your number one target, Dan? Gakpo?
Yeah.
I know what's yours, Nick? I know what it is, but go on.
In January?
No, just number one player that you want to bring into the club. Is it Frankie de Jong?
Yeah, it's de Jong. It's de Jong.
Gonzalo Ramos.
Gonzalo, no, let's not go there.
Dan, stop it. Stop it right now.
Dan's been hanging out with Adam too much because he's trying to ruin shows.
Yeah.
Dan was the model of professionalism before Adam was around, and now he's.
We've what's it called? It's Adam's tated him, whatever you want to call it. Is it? Yeah.
Virus.
Yeah,
he's a virus.
He is.
Could be Mbappe.
No,
yeah, don't say that. Sam's on the shot. Sam's gonna.
Dan, don't.
Yeah,
don't
look,
do that.
Dan, I'm with you on that boat. We will set sail on that Mbappe boat. I'll happily be on that. Again, Santa's going to need a massive bag of fucking cash for Mbappe. Likewise with the ownership.
Weren't Real quoting like £1 billion or something recently on Mbappe?
You never know. He's on about 250 million a year at Paris Saint-Germain now. And he's basically a sporting director as well. So
the former Real Madrid president, Roman Calderon, I think his name is. he was basically saying, yeah, it's probably going to cost up toward nearly £1 billion to get Mbappe to Real Madrid, which is insanity.
We all watched the World Cup final, right? What he done in that World Cup final in the last 10 minutes. He ain't any players out there like that. He can steal a game from you like that in a click of a finger. Yes, he's expensive. Yes, he's got some attitude problems. But if you can maintain that play on a pitch, he can win games in a heartbeat. Like, solid. He's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Do you know what? There's like, I was thinking about players that I would like at Man United, but the players I want are already here. Like Lisandro Martinez.
Yeah.
Like, absolute baller. I got a DM finally. And I didn't just get a DM. I got the best DM in the fucking world in Casemiro.
I thought he was on about Instagram. I had no idea why. But it's like, I got a DM.
Defensive midfielder.
Right, okay.
And I got the best one in the world in Casemiro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't get a better defensive midfielder. And then they brought in Bruno Fernandes as well, who are absolutely phenomenal. And Eriksen, who I fucking, like, I thought he was a fantastic player. Yeah. So, like, you know what I mean? I can't really ask for better players.
Don't let the Glazers hear you say that.
No. They had fuck all to do with it. It was Ten Hag. They had fuck all
of course.
To do with it. But yeah, striker-wise, I don't know. I don't know who I would go for.
There's not many like standout ones there, is there? Because even someone like João Felix, Dan, who was mentioning him before, he's not really United style. He's not someone. I heard Romano say he's not really someone United are looking at their type of profile they want. Obviously, he's very good. He's a player who's on the market, so maybe they will jump in for that opportunity. But there's not many standout ones out there, is there?
Yeah, exactly. Even João Felix, I think he has been a good player, a very good player for Atletico Madrid and even for Portugal. But somehow I'm not getting that confidence. Like
he's stunted by the system stunts him though, doesn't it? Yeah. Like the Atletico system isn't
very rigid, defensive.
When you saw him play for Portugal, that's João Felix. So when he plays for Portugal,
everywhere,
that's João Felix. That's who he is.
Yeah,
he's like a Bruno Fernandes of the attackers. So he keeps on moving everywhere. So yeah, that's why I don't have the full trust on João Felix for the striker role. I don't consider him as a striker, but at this point, that's why I'm more lean on towards Gakpo, because I've seen that he can play as a striker, but Felix, I'm not sure he can still perform at the same level in Premier League.
Yeah. Well, I think we're all singing from the same hymn sheet there, aren't we? Ownership gone, Gakpo in January, and then just a little cherry on the top, we can throw De Jong in the summer or something like that, hopefully. But I'm not getting ahead of myself yet. There's going to be a lot of changes. It's going to be a lot of stuff going on with Manchester United, and we will be here to cover it on Real Red Talk. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash a like on the video, and get involved in the community section. Comment, drop us a DM, whatever you want. Obviously not over Christmas this weekend. Everyone's going to be busy, but we will be back for the Nottingham Forest game. Preview. Yeah, which is on Tuesday, so the preview will be Monday. Hopefully we won't be too rough for that. And yeah, the schedule will be dropping on Monday as well. So thank you for everyone who's joined in. If you're watching now or you're watching later on, really appreciate it. If you want to follow us on social media for regular updates and clips from the show, all the handles are at the bottom of the graphic, or just head to the video description link. Sam, always a pleasure to have you on, so thank you very much. And I'm sure I'll be seeing you shortly, won't I?
Yeah, you'll be seeing me tomorrow. Also, Premier League is back, so anybody who's watching and you're in our fantasy league, get your team sorted.
Oh shit, yeah.
It's back. Wow. So there's a retro shirt to be won. So get your teams fucking sorted at the weekend, because obviously over Christmas you might forget, might be a bit too drunk, too much food, fall asleep, etc. So get your team sorted, get it ready, because it's back on Tuesday. Oh no, it's back. Is it Boxing Day? There's games on Boxing Day, isn't there?
Yeah, Monday it'll be back.
So there'll be games on. So get your transfers and all that good stuff in, because retro shirt to be won. So come at me. I'm waiting. Let's go.
Oh god. Yeah. I'm at a sustained month away from this now. Now we're back again. I was like quite happy when you reminded me of it now. And then you sit down about a little bit. Dan, likewise, thank you for coming on. I'm not sure if you celebrate Christmas, but regardless, I hope you enjoy the weekend and you're traveling and stuff. And cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Happy to be back on the show.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. We'll see you in a couple of days, guys, for the Nottingham Forest preview. Have a lovely Christmas. Drink lots of beer. Eat your body weight in food. And we'll see you on Monday. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.
made it? You know who made it?